Hello, this is Mr. Stansbury. I'm going to take you through the notes on graphs from tables of values. At the end of this, you should be able to say, I can draw the graph of a quadratic function using a table of values. All right, we're going to hit an example here. Example 4, draw the graph of y equals negative x squared plus 2x plus 4. So in order to do that with a table of values, first thing we want to do is make ourselves a table of values here, okay? So what we're going to want to do here is normally you choose, like when we're making a table of values, we do -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. Let's see how well that works for us. And then the y is going to be this here. So sometimes I won't even write the y. Sometimes I'll just write what it equals. So I do negative x squared plus 2x plus 4. And then I just plug stuff in. So really it's on this first one here, we got negative x squared. Now the x is 2, so we do negative 2 squared plus 2 times -2 plus 4, right? So -2 times -2 is 4. And then we take the opposite of 4, so that's -4. 2 times -2 is another -4. And then a plus 4. So we end up getting, for this one, we get -4 for this. Okay? And then what you can do is you can keep doing all of these calculations. You'll come up with this table, and then we'll graph each piece. So -2 is at -4, which is right here. So that's -2, -4. So let's go through, and now let's plug in -1 for x instead of -2. Plus 2 times -1 plus 4. Another nice thing about putting what you're plugging in parentheses is when I go to plug in -1 instead, it's really easy to look at this one here and say, oh, all my -2s are now -1s. So -1 times -1 is 1. The opposite of that is -1. 2 times -1 is -2. And plus 4. So that's -3 plus 4 gives us +1. Okay, let's just go through and calculate the rest of these, and we'll graph them all. If we plug in 0, -0 squared plus 2 times 0 plus 4. So that gives us 0. That gives us 0. And that gives us 4. So we end up with 4 for this one. And then if we plug in 1, -1 squared plus 2 times 1 plus 4. 1 times 1 is 1, and the opposite of that is -1. 2 times 1 is 2, and plus 4. So that's 6 minus 1 gives us 5. And then our last one we'll do is +2. So we do -2 squared plus 2 times 2 plus 4. 2 squared is 4. Opposite of that is -4. 2 times 2 is 4. And then another plus 4. So that ends up giving us a 4 as well. Okay? So now we can graph all these things. So we already did -2, -4. So -1 is at 1. 0 is at 4. 1 is at 5. And 2 is at 4. So now we can sketch the graph, and this is just going to, oops, that wasn't very good. This is going to simply mirror image right down through this here. This side over here is going to look just like that side. So that's why it's nice to have more dots. That other dot should have been in here. But so this should be a little bit skinnier. But really that's all you need to do to graph from a table of values. So you simply make a table, and then away you go. Okay. Again, usually we'll pick -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. There are some instances that we will explore later on where you don't want to choose those numbers because this might be a little bit too far off. But we will talk about that in a further section. So if you have any other questions on this, please feel free to ask. Thanks.